Welcome back. You're still watching Citizen Extra. We continue with the discussions to do with the resignation of Dr. Roselyn Akombe from the IEBC. We now want to get some comments from some former member of parliament. Let's now join Let's now join our reporter John Wanyama in Eldoret. He is with some of these former members of parliament. John, good morning. Who are you with, and what do they have to say about this?
A very good morning to you, Indimuli, and with me, I'm with the former Speaker, Elgeyo Marakwet County, Mr. Koche, and also a political analyst, whom we would like also to talk to tell us what is his view on this issue of Dr. Akombe resigning today. And Indimuli, also this part of the country has also received this news with a big shock, wondering what will be happening now on 26th of October, when the election is meant to be happening. But with the help of your panelists in the studio, most of Kenyans here now are enlightened to know what is really going to happen and whether there will or there will be no election. Indimuli, let me talk to the Speaker to tell us briefly, what do you think about this move by Dr. Akombe?
I think one is it's a rude shock for all of us as Kenyans that 7 days to the election, and it's now coming out very clearly that Dr. Akombe has expressed the dynamics and the intrigues that is going on within the IBC. And maybe even before I go further, I would want to ask Parliament to explain to Kenyans how they vetted and approved Commissioner Akombe, knowing very well that she had double citizenship. Dual citizenship. I think that is something that they need to explain to Kenyans. Secondly, it is now very clear that the fate of 26th of October election is hanging in a limbo. And my wish for His Excellency the President is for the next 7 days, maybe then they need to sort of call off the campaign trail, lock themselves in a boardroom, and now begin analyzing the scenarios. Because in this part of Kenya, North Rift particularly, there is a likelihood that there's going to be voter apathy. So even if we were to do elections on 26, the 50% plus one is likely to be a challenge, even in the Jubilee stronghold, because many Kenyans do not have that excitement of going for the election. Forget about even the NASA region, but even in our very own stronghold, I foresee a scenario that most of the supporters of Jubilee are likely to not to participate in the same, and that brings the whole issue of 50% plus one. Now, secondly, Daktari has explained the worrying trend about the IBC staff, and it is true. We watched yesterday the IBC staff in Migori and Ombabi. It is very clearly that nobody in their right sense would want to participate in a process when they feel their own lives are not safe. And I think the Akombe's action today should actually make all of us to begin now doing what you call soul searching. We need to ask ourselves as Kenyans, where exactly are we going 7 days? Because there are two crucial dates that to me, I think they are very critical. One is the fate of 26th of October. Secondly is in the event that the elections will not take place on 26th. What happened in terms of the term of the president? That comes to an end on 31st of October. That is the midnight of October. And if indeed elections takes place and half of the country, the NASA region, because we already know Nyanza, Homa Bay, Migori, Coast and so forth. And if the numbers continue increasing, and with the reality that is coming around, look like IBC are not reading from the same page. What happens in a scenario where Uhuru Kenyatta is going to be elected as a president by half of the country? So I think it is where we need leadership, whereby His Excellency the President and the team, the President is the commander, is in charge of this country at the moment, and I believe that the biggest assignment for whoever is going to be elected as a president, Bwana Wanyama, in this country, for me, I think we need to go back and bring confidence, optimism. You remember in 2003 election, when Moi was thrown out, it came very clearly. Globally, they were saying that Kenyans are the most optimistic people in the whole world. The biggest assignment for the president come after the election is one who is going to unite Kenyans. Kenyans right now are fragmented. Tribalism is now at the top. And so I think going forward, we are facing more challenges. And so I would just summarize by saying that indeed we are in a political crisis. Political crisis to the extent of the election, constitutional crisis to the extent of the end of term of His Excellency the President.
Thank you very much, Indimuli. That's the former Speaker, Elgeyo Marakwet. And indeed, Indimuli, earlier on I was with the former MPs and governors from North Rift and Central, who also said that they are really also shocked, but they raised the same question, asking, who gave this Dr. Akombe this position? And maybe they said that maybe her interest is not in this country, but maybe in the US, where she's now residing from. And also in Dimuli, this region, as you know, this is a Jubilee stronghold, and these MPs are traversing around each and every day just to ensure that they trump for more votes and to ensure that President Uhuru Kenyatta gets for the second time into the office. So they are traversing around telling people that, look here, we are going to have this election, but we don't know. Kenyans are keeping on confused each and every day not to know whether this election will be held or not. And this is a game of wait and see. In the morning.
Yes, indeed, it's a game of wait and see whether or not the elections of October 26 will indeed happen. John Wanyama was talking there to the former Speaker of the Elgeyo Marakwet County Assembly, Albert Kochei, on his opinion with regard to the resignation of Roselyn Akombe as Commissioner IEBC. We are also expecting a press briefing from State House. President Uhuru Kenyatta could be speaking in a short while. We'll be going live there. We're also following events and the happenings around the residence of businessman Jimmi Wanjigi in Muthaiga. Raila Odinga, the NASA presidential candidate, is still holed up in that house. And we'll be getting that update as well. We'll be heading there later. In a short while, you can see there, President Uhuru Kenyatta is about to emerge from State House. The podium is ready, and he'll be addressing the nation from there. Back in studio, I'm still here with my panelists. David Kosing, MP Pokot South, Ledama Olekina, Senator Narok, Mwende Mwinzi, a former candidate in the Mwingi West parliamentary contest, Sandra Ochola, political analyst, and Dr. James Nikal, MP Seme. So many other issues happening around the country. President Uhuru Kenyatta is about to speak. I do not know if it has to do with Roselyn Akombe's resignation as well. But what do we expect the president to say at this point?
You know, Indimuli, because he's almost speaking, so we'll allow him to speak, and then we will say what he's saying. Because,
okay, and I understand the hesitation from the Jubilee side. You don't want to say something. I do understand the president is out. Let's listen in to what he has to say.
On the 8th of August 2017,